Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is D3ath, and before we start this video, shout out to all the little house friends who cannot be tamed. You know who you are. So not long ago, I talked about how easy it is to start feeling a failure or totally unsuccessful just because we compare ourselves to our peers. Maybe there is outside pressure. Maybe indeed we have not met the goals that we have set for ourselves. What I realized is that all I needed was a little bit of distraction, right? So the question is, do we need to be good at our hobbies? Hobbies can serve as distraction, stress relief, things like that, just to make our lives a little bit easier. And then there are days when I feel terrible and I feel like I'm not good at anything, especially in my hobbies. Just because I wanted to make my hobbies into my profession, which is kind of stressful. But as soon as I could let this go, my hobbies became a pleasure again. I could enjoy them. And I just accepted that most probably I will not be the best in my hobbies. And it's not a problem because I enjoy doing them. And yes, someday I feel like I will never get better in my hobbies. And so what? As long as I love doing them and as long as they can serve as stress relief, I will be more than okay to do them. If not each and every single day, then maybe once or twice a week or whenever I have the time. It does not have to be something creative. It can be related to fitness and wellness, or something physical, or something mental. It's totally fine. You can keep sitting in the corner and read if that brings you joy. You can watch TV while you do crocheting or something, or you can start building a new skill, because it's never too late to learn something new. And yeah, maybe you will not start living off of it, and that's totally fine. Because you are interested in that thing. And yeah, I admit it. I mean, being good at your hobbies is a wonderful feeling, like feeling the learning curve, knowing that you are getting better at something feels great. And it can be very motivational. It can make you go on. It can help you a lot, especially with stress relief. But as soon as you start thinking about it as that you must get better at it, you will have a downfall. And it can actually lead to lose your interest in that one particular hobby. So to me, it was mainly music all of my life. I was around the age of 5-ish when I picked up a recorder, and I could not even read. And someone gave me a little book. And this book actually showed how to play the notes. And I learned it all by myself. So that's how it all happened. That's how I started learning music. And then my mother talked to the people in the local music school, and I started learning the recorder. 1 year later, I started learning to play the piano and the trumpet. And in the beginning, I felt really good. I was like, oh my God, it's not too bad, but I have no idea what happened. I was very young, so I can't remember what happened. But after a while, I just felt like I must be good at it. I must play these instruments perfectly. And I just got worse. And I was not motivated. I was rather questioned, like, why are you not getting better? You keep practicing. Why aren't you getting better? And it was not that. At home, I was good. When it comes to performances, I felt really nervous for some reason. And most probably it was because I was so nervous and anxious. I was scared of failure. And then, yeah, mostly it happened. Sometimes I could not memorize the pieces. Sometimes when it came to the trumpet, I just could not hit the notes, and I felt bad about it. I started to feel so bad about it that I quit. At home, of course, I still played the piano until we sold it. The trumpet was not mine, it was a rental, so I had to give it back. But at around the age of 13 or 12-ish, I bought my first classical guitar and I started to learn by myself. And it wasn't easy. I was not ready to learn guitar on my own. I did try and it was not that bad, but then something happened before I went back to that music school. Because I was getting interested in harder music, like in rock, metal, things like that. And I started learning singing. And to be more exact, I started learning screaming on my own. And I used to be good at it, or at least not that tragic as I thought. So when I was a teen, Nightwish, original Nightwish, by the way, was a big thing. So at home, I started to pick up the opera style, which was great. It helped me a lot with screaming. My vocal cords was really strong to do that. And I loved doing that. I think my parents did not like it at all. But anyway, at the age of 14, I went back to music school and I picked up the guitar. It wasn't easy because it was classical music. But instead of music theory, I talked with one of the teachers and we agreed that I would learn singing so I would not get back to music theory with 6-7-year-olds. So anyway, it happened. And everything was fine for about 2 years when I felt stuck with everything. Singing was great, but I wanted more. And it never happened. I lived in a relatively small town, not too small, but I did not really have relations in music. I did not really know any musicians of my age. We actually had a school of rock, okay? We had a school of rock in that town, and my mother did not let me attend. Okay, so it might sound like I'm still blaming my mom, but once we grow up, we just forget what it used to be a teenager. Teenagers feel the most. And when we just question them, oh, you're heartbroken, who broke your heart, man? Teenagers feel the most. That's when they just start realizing or trying to figure out who they are. That's when we are the most vulnerable in all of our lives. And if you forgot how it feels, shame on you, honestly. So anyway, my mother did not want me to attend. And I did not. So for a good while, I did stop learning music completely. I did not want to do anything with that just because my family said that I was not talented enough and that I would never get better. And let's just say it out loud. When you are a teen, you are really, really depending on your family. So I stopped playing music for a good while at around the age of 16, and I concentrated more on school and learning English. But I just felt how something was missing. And then I was just like, I don't care, then I will do this on my own. And I kept singing each and every single day at home. But the fact didn't change. I didn't have relations in music. I couldn't go anywhere. Besides, back in the day, I still wrote lyrics in Hungarian. And if you think my English lyrics are horrendous, you should see my Hungarian ones. Anyway, for a good while, I thought about music as a career. And only in the past few years have I realized that music is not necessarily a career path for me. Maybe because I have lost my confidence, and once I did not feel supported, I felt bad about my talent, and I said I have no talent at all. And that's how I completely stopped. So yeah, I get it. Sometimes when we are not supported, it's really hard to stay motivated, and I totally agree. But nobody should be able to take your confidence when it comes to a talent or hobby. So as long as I started to push this idea of music career off in my head, and I did it for stress relief, I started to feel better. But it does not necessarily have to be music. It can be anything that can bring you joy. Like in the past few years, I got more interested in graphics, and it's a bumpy road and it takes a lot of practice. I totally agree. But I'm getting better, and if I compare my very early works to my more recent ones, I see the development and I see how I'm getting better in line work or in coloring as well. And it feels good. Hobby does not have to be a career path. It can be, but I think as soon as you start thinking about it as a career path, it just puts extra pressure on you. And you might lose interest in that. And if you start feeling that your hobby is your profession and you must earn a living off of that, you might just lose interest in that. But I think it was way more than enough of me yapping today. So guys, if you like this video, please give it a big old thumbs up and smash that subscribe button. It costs you nothing, but it means a lot to me. And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.